Adventurethon began in 2010, basically as a way to push people's comfort zone.
Mentally, I guess not physical pain, but mentally before a race, I can get quite nervous and anxious about what's in front of me, and I often feel like I just don't want to go out there and do it. I guess I didn't have a particularly sporty background, but I always liked the outdoors, and I sort of got to my late 20s and kind of felt something, I needed some excitement in my life. One thing led to another, and now it's sort of become my life, yeah. I think you have to be someone who, doesn't mind getting a bit muddy and sweaty and taking some risks, but not in the extreme. There's like many different types of races, so you don't have to jump in the deep end, and I guess you need to be quite self-motivated to get out and train.
In the first race, there was less than 100 competitors, but in each year since then it's really gone up in leaps and bounds, to the point where we're actually maxing out our races at 400 competitors.
For me now, sort of early 30s, I've done multi-sport and adventure racing since I was a teenager, and now it's sort of a way of life for me. It's probably quite good for my mental health, the training, the regular exercise, the endorphins and whatnot. I love the outdoors. Also, my friendship group, everyone's really active and involved in endurance sports in some way, so I suppose it's a lifestyle choice, and the people that are involved in the sports are really motivating people to be around. And I'm lucky I get the opportunity to run and ride and train, so yeah. It's not so much about winning the sport. The sport's more about getting out in the outdoors, having a go, challenging yourself, and also your own personal limits. And the process to actually getting to the event is why you compete, because you have to train to complete the run, or you have to train to complete the bike, and you have to go paddling to get your skills up to complete the paddle leg, and those experiences that you have with your family and friends are the rewarding parts.
There needs to be, first of all, a good course that people want to do. Some of them might not find it pleasurable, the Adventurethon courses, that it needs to be something that's tough and something you feel proud to achieve. We do try to find very scenic locations for our events where you can really push yourself, and then you can have a great weekend with your family. I think it's really the sense of completion and the sense of achievement that people are striving for. I think people are just looking for a way to get out and distance themselves from that concrete society and get out and enjoy the outdoors.
I think there's a fine line between, finishing at all costs and then knowing your body and knowing when it's not worth pushing anymore. But when it's just mental, then it's just that you know that you feel better at the end when you're finished, and that all pain is sort of fleeting. So it sort of goes like that when you race. You have waves of fatigue and waves of pain which ebb and flow during the race. And trying not to kind of dwell on that, how you're feeling when you're feeling really bad, and trying to keep positive is quite tough. And also, I guess, tactically in a race, like all your competitors passing you in a race, and if you let that get to you, then you can easily get in a negative mindset and it can all be downhill. Whereas you have to try and remind yourself, well, you don't know how that competitor's going to be feeling half an hour from now. They might have their low point, and you might come good again. So it's just a matter of trying to stay positive. So the more I race, the more I get to know my body and know when I can push myself a bit more, when I need to back off.
Most pain. Probably you feel the most pain when you don't do things right. So if you don't hydrate right, if you don't eat right, then you start to cramp or you run out of fluid and you just start to bonk and get a hunger flat. Then the pain sets in. Or if you go out too hard and you try and race above your own ability. However, if you're organised and you get your nutrition right, you get your fluids right throughout the event, then you do actually race at a level where it's not painful. And that's what training is. The more you train, you actually train your body and your mind to sort of put up with that pain, and the fitter you are, I think the less pain you have to put up with as well. Yeah, it could happen anywhere. Yeah, on the climbs, if you're falling in the kayak and you start to get cold, then your body uses more energy to try and keep warm. So if you're paddling a boat that's beyond your ability and you get into trouble in the kayak, it could start early. You could get out, be cold, start running, then you forget to drink because you've got hypothermia, so you're not thinking right, and then you start to run and you haven't drank and you've forgotten to eat, and then you start cramping, and then it's a long, long day.
I think I just love getting in the outdoors and seeing beautiful places like up here in the bush, and also the rewarding feeling of getting fitter. But before I started this sport, I couldn't run 5k, and that was like 5 years ago. And to think that now I can, paddle 16k, then run 11k, then mountain bike 35k. Like when you reflect on that, it's a pretty proud achievement. I don't train a crazy amount, but I try to do sort of up to 10 hours a week. So just a few hours in each discipline. Yeah, I guess there's never the ideal preparation, but the more I race, the more I train, the fitter I get, the more training I can do. It's like amazing benefits mentally, like for my mental health. Before I started this sport, I was a bit depressed, not very happy with my job and aspects of my life, and I just find physical activities, it's really underrated as an antidepressant, if you like. It's pretty impossible to be depressed after you run like a 12k through the bush. There's a real natural high that comes from that, and the more you do, the more you're motivated to do. Like if I get up early in the morning and go for a run, I come home, I feel like I have a lot more energy to tackle other things in my life. So yeah, it's amazing benefits. I highly recommend it to people.
Look, we definitely want to establish a World Championships race for Adventurethon. To make Adventurethon bigger and better, it's really going to take like-minded people to jump on and embrace the idea. And some of those people come on as sponsors, some of those people come on as helpers. Finding good sponsors to keep some of those costings down so that we can provide an amazing experience for the athletes without having to worry about the financial burdens. Of course, there's some major benefits to being associated with Adventurethon. It's got a great following of athletes. It's a great way to reach an active market. It's a great way to find people all together on the one day.
It's really important to have your next goal, or be thinking and planning about your next adventure. And I think that's quite important, because then after you sort of come down from the race and you clean all your gear, you're kind of thinking, well, I've done that, so what's next? Maybe I could do the Coffs Adventurethon 2015, and maybe I can go half an hour faster, or go an hour quicker, or maybe I can get two of my friends to do the event as well and motivate them.